Hello, welcome to the first virtual conference of the International Symposium on the Analytic Hierarchy Process. A few words about myself. I'm Rozann Saaty, the president of Creative Decisions Foundation, which sponsors the ISAHP conferences. And Thomas Saaty and I were married for 53 years. He is the creator of the AHP. He passed away in 2017 at the age of 91. And he worked full-time at the University of Pittsburgh until just a few months before he died. Though I'm not sure whether I would call it work or not. AHP was really his passion. Here's a picture of him. For those of you who did not know him. So I would like to dedicate this first virtual conference to my late husband, to his memory. And I'd like to say a few words about him. He was an amazing person. Anyone who knew him was astounded by his mind and his memory and his encyclopedic knowledge. He was my personal encyclopedia when I needed to know something. And he had remarkable energy. When you walked with him, there was no walking with him. He was 20 steps ahead. And this was true until he hit his 90th birthday mark. His mental powers didn't weaken at all. Toward the end of his life, he was teaching his doctors some new theorem for that he learned for a math formula. And he thought it was interesting. They were polite, but unenthusiastic, may I say. And I would like to tell you about a few interesting habits he had. And these were probably why he was able to write so many books. He wrote 43 books approximately, and he published hundreds of papers. He had a few sayings that he lived by. One was, get up and do it now. And he did. If it needed doing, he was on it right then. No delaying, no putting it off. He just got up and did it. And another one was, if you have an idea, write it down right then. Don't think that it's going to come back to you again. It may not. And another one was, if you wake up in the middle of the night with an idea, get up out of bed, write it down, and don't let it pass. And his idea of getting up at night was good for his purposes, but was kind of bad for my sleep. His pockets were always full of these scraps of paper that he'd written ideas on. And his handwriting was atrocious. After about 25 years of marriage, I could read it when even he couldn't. I was proud of that. And the magic came when somehow he turned all that disparate information into beautifully written books. The ISAHP 2020 virtual conference will be the 16th that has been held. And I'm proud to say that these symposiums have been international in every sense of the word, from the participants to where they were held in cities around the world. To mention a few, the first one was in Tianjin, China in 1988. And we've had conferences in Santiago, Chile, and London, and Kuala Lumpur, and all over. The analytic hierarchy process, let me just say, is known mostly for its use in decision making, though in truth, it's a way that we can combine human perceptions and human values and data to establish measures for both tangibles and intangibles. Even measures on scales that we know, like temperature, have to be related to the purpose we're using it for. Whether a particular temperature is good or bad depends. For example, the COVID-19 vaccine, one manufacturer of it, has to store it at minus 90 degrees. Not sure if that's centigrade or Fahrenheit, but anyway, really cold. And so cold is good if that's what you're doing, but minus 90 is bad. It's very bad if you're going on a trip to the beach. So we always have to judge what we're going to be using those measurements for. Being able to use human judgment to establish measures for intangibles is often very important because they can be the decisive factor in a decision. And here's an example. You know, Jeff Bezos, the boss of Amazon, needed to establish a new facility for Amazon. It's become a global thing, unbelievable how much business they have. And he chose Virginia for it. And you don't think the fact that he lives in Virginia was an important factor in that decision? I bet it was. AHP has spread a lot since Tom developed it in the 1970s. And it's so much so that people now use it as a matter of course and don't even mention that they're using AHP. It's taken for granted, like adding and dividing. The most important thing that any of us do is to make good decisions. Your life course depends on you making a good decision. And you who are attending this conference are helping people do that as you do research and teach it in your universities. And to my mind, most importantly, you apply the analytic hierarchy process and its extension, the analytic network process, to real problems in the world to help people, organizations, companies, and governments make better decisions and wisely use their resources. I want to thank you, Tom's longtime colleagues and friends, and members of the AHP community for being with us at this conference. And now I would like to introduce you to the chair of the symposium, Enrique Mu. Enrique is a professor at Carlow University in Pittsburgh, where he holds the important position of university faculty research officers. I would say, in fact, Enrique is kind of the star of that university. Enrique and Tom were close friends at the Katz Graduate School of Business at the University of Pittsburgh, where they collaborated in doing projects and writing papers. And Enrique has been a proponent of AHP since then and helped in so many ways. He founded the International Journal of the AHP in 2009 and has been its editor-in-chief for the past 11 years. Its stature is improving year by year, may I say. And I think Enrique would be or is, I know he is, proud to say that the journal has never been late in publishing an issue and has never missed an issue. Enrique also served as chairman of the ISAHP conference in Washington, D.C. in 2014. And so thank you, Enrique. And as the chair of the conference now, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day. It is a pleasure to welcoming to the first virtual meeting of the International Symposium of the Analytic Hierarchy process. This is really a very important event because in spite of the pandemics, we have been able to really get together. And also taking advantage of the technology, we have been able to really connect people from 30 different countries. And this time we have many participants that had not attended our AHP meeting before. Welcome to all of you and hope you will be part of the family. During the next 3 days, we're going to have several presentations, and I encourage you to join the sessions and to contribute with your ideas and feedback. And also, I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to say thank you first to you for attending this event, and also to the members of the conference organizing committee. Well, you already know Rozann Saaty, who as president of the Creative Decision Foundation has funded this conference, and in particular has funded the attendance of students. Also, thank you to Elena Rocco, who has been really the technical heart of this conference with her hard work and definitely technical expertise and also academic support. Thank you to Antonella Petlilo, who has also been a program co-chair and has always been assisting and in the development of this event. And thank you to Birsen Karpak, who has been the head of the scientific committee. Always very helpful to get reviewers, in particular when they are specialized one, and always willing and ready to give her opinions and ideas. Particularly, she's very good at catching details that we might not notice at first. And finally, also thank you to Liron Wei, who has been the conference manager and has had to really do many different moments. And so thank you to them, thank you to you, thank you to all of us, and I invite you to enjoy our conference. Have a great conference. Thank you.